Mack, we feel as if we can enter China with our restaurant, St. Louis Bar and Grill, and its product line. We feel that in China, our product will be successful because of the following reasons. Firstly, China is 37 times larger than Canada. That means we have a larger customer base to make more profit. And China is 52% urban, so that means we can reach this customer base relatively easy, as they're concentrated in high density areas. The GDP per capita in China is $9,300, so we had to lower our average price for a meal to $10, which is the average in China, and we can do this as the cost of doing business in China is cheaper.
All right, so we also have done various research on the government in China. We realized that the government is different from China compared to Canada. So some of the things that we looked at deeply and thoroughly is through political issues. We also examined how there is human rights and what they are, compared to Canada, and how we're going to have to change that. Next, there's also child labor issues that we had to take into consideration when moving businesses over to China. Another thing we have is gender issues. Various amounts of legal issues in China. There's things such as bribes, graft, unauthorized payments. This can achieve widespread corruption. There's also copyright infringement that takes place in China that we will have to be aware of, as well as labor standards in China are much lower than Canada. Therefore, we can lower our prices in China since they're used to those wages.
And so we have studied these topics to make sure that our company is as legal as possible in China. Okay, so our marketing mix. Our main product line is connected to the foods that are barbecued and grilled, such as wings, fries, ribs, and burgers, in addition to the bar within the restaurant. So this new restaurant experience will be a lot different than many other restaurants in China, as it is a Western style experience. And so just as Canadians go to Chinese restaurants here, Chinese people will go to this Pan-American restaurant. The company has had export experience, as we have franchises in the Atlantic region of Canada. So we incorporated new products from that region into our menu, and so we do the same thing in China. Our company is also a very successful company domestically, so we can feel like we can transfer this to China. We've completed a marketing mix, so we know what our product line should be, what our price point should be, what our promotion should be like, and where we should set up our place of business.
So some other things that we have to take into consideration is when we go over to China to close this deal, we're gonna have to know their culture and their beliefs. So some of the things that we have to do when going over there is non-verbal communication. We have to think of some things that Chinese do, Canadians think it's stupid or weird to do. So one thing, for instance, would be a non-verbal communication. So the Chinese cover their normal music with their left hand sometimes. Another example would be bowing is acceptable slightly, but not from the waist down, similar in Japan. As a sign of respect, you lower your eyes slightly when meeting someone. Their use of humor is also completely different from Canadians. Chinese believe in political humor, and they allow business humor in the public. So the Chinese also have humor different compared to ours. One thing is China believes in political humor, while Canadians would find that boring to talk about. If you mock or talk about Chinese and their families as a joke, they will actually take that very seriously. We also looked at business customs, greeting and names. So Chinese generally shake with left hands, as we talked about. Handshakes should be gentle, sometimes with their left hand. Business cards are known as a gift in China. You should think of this as a present and act like it's a very big deal to get one. Gifts, when dealing with Chinese, you should give them a small gift, but not too much of a cost to it.
We feel that China is a ready market for St. Louis Bar and Grill.